let's take a look at our top selections.
Hi everybody, Mike Beer here with your Sunday feature at Aqueduct. Race number 8 is the La Verdad. It's for state-bred fillies and mares. They're going to sprint 7 furlongs on the main track. Let's take a look at our field of 6 here. You can see they're drawn on the far outside. Number 6, Sharp Star, an odds-on morning line favorite, and it's really hard to argue with her being a short price in this race just based on her recent form. Her last 2 races in particular just sort of stand out in this field. Blew away New York bred entry-level allowance rivals 2 starts back over this track at a 1-turn mile with a big triple-digit buyer. Came right back last time, handled a sloppy track while up in class in the Grade 3 Go for Wand. And she won again with a 97 buyer speed figure. Her recent form stands out in this field. She is going to have to cut back a furlong here to go 7/8. If you feel like that could be an issue for her, then maybe you want to take a chance against her. But you know, it's at least worth pointing out, aside from those 3 2-turn races over the summer, where she ran fine and a couple of them really didn't factor in the Grade 2 Black-Eyed Susan when they took her to Pimlico in October. But, you know, her 1-turn race prior to the stretch-out efforts over the summer was another victory, a 1-turn mile at Belmont Park. Won easily that day as well to break her maiden. So her last 3 1-turn races are all, you know, very, very good performances. Again, the last 2 make her something of a standout in this field. She's going to take a ton of beating if she just shows up and runs her race. And here, let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector if you're looking for ideas to perhaps take a shot against the favorite. They're not expecting much pace in this race. I can see Sadie Lady, the number 2, who they have out there on a clear early lead. She will probably try to wire this field. 7 furlongs could be a bit of an issue for Sadie Lady. She's only tried it once prior. That was off of the layoff. 2 starts back in the Staten Island division of the New York Stakes, New York Stallion Series rather. And, you know, she just didn't run that well, but she was off the layoff there. Maybe she can do better. She does like Aqueduct. She does have early speed. She did win her most recent start with a career best 86 buyer speed figure, but it's hard to see her getting, you know, too loose in this race and really taking advantage of that kind of a scenario. Maybe it's possible. I'm not her biggest fan. I didn't really want her. I thought the 2 horses with the best chance to upset the favorite were drawn down towards the inside. We can start with Timely Tradition. She's obviously going to need to you know, run a career best race to win this, and she did not run well in her most recent start. They took her over to Laurel to face Open Company Stakes horse, so she didn't run that well. It wasn't her best performance. Prior to that, though, she was just on a real roll, just running one good race after another. She really is more of that, you know, sort of allowance, starter allowance kind of a horse, but she's just in really good form. She can get any kind of a trip in a race. Her effort 2 starts back in the Iroquois, she was bang up that day. She had to settle for 3rd at the end of the day there, but she ran really well, keeping after the pace the entire way, taking over in the stretch, and then falling to a couple of horses who came from last and next to last to run her down. She ran great that day. She didn't run as well last time. She's a bounce back candidate in here, but it does feel like she's going to need to run the best race of her life to win. Espresso Shot was the other horse for me that I thought, you know, had a real chance to perhaps go back-to-back here and pull off a little bit of an upset. This is a filly who started out her career like she had some real potential, won back-to-back stakes races early on, including the Open Company Busher over this track at a 1-turn mile. She sort of lost her form after that. They tried her in some tougher races. You know, all of her performances weren't that bad after that. It just felt like she never got back to that kind of a level out of the back-to-back stakes wins. But recently it does sort of feel like she started to turn it around again. And that, in particular, her most recent race, that was that Staten Island division of the New York Stallion Series. Let's take a look at the replay of that right now, because this, she did just about everything right in this race, Espresso Shot. She broke from the rail, but she had good early speed, and that hasn't always been the case with her, but you could see she got very strongly forward early in this race, tracked the early pace setter in that race, who was the horse back in here, Sadie Lady, just flat overpowered that horse around the turn, took over through the stretch, and you saw there down to the finish, just easily keeping favored Prairie Fire at bay down to the wire. New top buyer speed figure for her there. That was a race over this 7 furlong distance. I just thought Espresso Shot ran really well that day. She's 8-1 on the morning line. I thought, you know, she's going to have to improve, obviously, if Sharp Star shows up with her good race. But I thought she had a chance to maybe pull off the upset. Sharp Star, again, she's just way the horse to beat in here. We'll throw up the replay of her Go for Wand last time. I mean, there's not a lot to see in this race. It was a relatively short field. It wasn't, you know, the strongest grade 3 in the world, but, you know, she had at least something of a question to answer in this spot as she stepped up in class off of a really fast win. And it was a really fast win 2 starts back with the 101 buyer that sort of came out of nowhere. So you were just wondering if that was a real performance or not. I mean, I guess based on her go for wand, you would have to say it's a real performance. She stepped up in class. She kept right up after the early leader in the race, and she was game to drive that horse down at the end with a 97. So she certainly backed up her big win 2 starts back. She's weighted the horse to beat in here, cutting back to 7 furlongs. She's perfectly drawn on the outside, and she's shown just really good tactical speed in her last 2 starts, so I can't imagine the slightly shorter distance works against her. I'll put the picks up there because, I'm just not going to try to beat Sharp Star. Her recent form is just too good. She's going to have to, regress significantly, I feel like, to lose to this field in this race here. I did put the number 3 Espresso Shot second. I've always liked this horse. I really liked her last race. Maybe she can, back that effort up here and get a big piece of this. But I am not going to try to beat Sharp Star in your Sunday feature at Aqueduct. It's race number 8. It's the La Verdad for New York Breds. Good luck.